Just do that again for us.
There we go.
Boom.
All right.
Boom.
When you're ready, hit the theme.
Okay, here we go, boys. Where is he? Oh, there he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here. Barely touched him. Episode 2, 28th of February, 2023. How are we, boys? Corey and Joel.
G'day, mates.
Yeah, how you going, mate?
Yeah, well, tell us about your day. I know we played golf. We haven't
did.
seen you, Joel. How
No,
are you?
I was at uni all day, so
Yeah?
first
Me
day
and,
back.
me and Ben have played golf. I had no idea it was going to be 36 degrees.
Why would you play golf in this temp?
It was.
Well, I didn't know.
You did okay.
I did all right. The back nine was a slog.
The back nine for me was I had to re-question some things about my
Yep.
life.
Yep.
I had a bad time.
Look, your front nine was impressive.
Yeah, I did okay. I did okay, but we also played about 5 days prior to this. At,
Yes.
Today was Maylands. Before that was
Yes.
Marangaroo. I had a pretty fucking good 18
Yep,
at
yep.
Marangaroo.
No, proud of you.
I did okay. I'm very new to golf.
Yep.
We're going to do a general footy news. We are still going with the pre-season. It is no longer the pre-season. We've had some practice games. Some footy's actually happened. We've had some what's happened, Joel? Tell us the results. What's been going on?
All right, so we had the pre-season games. So
Yes.
they ranged from anywhere from 4 quarters to
8, I've heard.
Eight.
It seemed
Yeah.
like
Ridiculous.
a bit of a shit show. Yeah,
I read that one of them, all the umpires left in the 6th. And
they just got sick of it.
Yeah, well, apparently they only get paid for 4.
well, good on them for not working
so they just
without
left.
pay. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
Did
no
they
wonder-
really leave the game?
They left, yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember which
Well, that's
game
why
it
they
was.
have to rig the sports bet
And
things.
so it was scheduled for 8.
I was wondering
They
why
cut
I
it to
couldn't bet on
6.
these games.
And
Yeah.
then it ended up going for 7, and they just called it. Both
Yeah.
teams were like, all right,
Sick.
we've seen enough.
Sick.
Yeah, Saints were meant to go to 8. I think they gave
Who
up at
did
7.
Saints play?
Melbourne.
And they lost.
Yeah, look, we got done, but it's a practice
It's
game.
a practice game.
I'm shocked.
It's a practice game.
I wouldn't read too much into it.
They
Collingwood
lose?
played Carlton. There was some injury cloud stuff over Patrick Cripps.
He was okay, though.
Is he
Yeah.
confirmed okay?
Yeah,
Completely
I think
fine.
that was classic media overblown. There was
Yeah,
a second
yeah.
story came out that
The
said he was
second
walking
they get
around.
an injury on field to talk about, it's
He was-
injury woes at Carlton.
He's fine.
Yeah,
He's-
no,
he's
yeah,
so-
so
Speaking
he'll
of
put-
injuries, though, we've got Travis Boak also escaped injury.
I saw that collision with Jeremy McGovern.
Yeah, it's a big knock
it was
to
a
take.
big knee, and it was one of those. And credit to McGovs for immediately going, "Oh shit, this is a preseason game. I've just done someone." Like he goes
yeah.
straight down to Boakey, and he's like, "Oh shit," calls the trainers over. Like it was good, honourable stuff. But yeah, he looked.
How did our boys go in the games?
In the games, well, we can get into that when we go into Adopt Our Boy,
Okay.
but I would guess that Paddy, my boy, Patrick Parnell, I would guess 8 disposals. That is how they don't provide statistics.
Yeah, they
for
don't.
so I had to actually watch this and be careful about it. But he was playing
Impactful?
No, not particularly, but he did some good things.
But it's the
I think.
pre-season, so he doesn't have to be.
Exactly.
Yes.
As long as he's getting his touch in, he had a few good handballs, he had a few good kicks. Yeah, he wasn't completely useless. I was a fan of him. Next up, if we're talking other footy news, Clarko went off at a journo.
He did.
Clarko going off.
Yeah,
No.
Clarko.
It was more of a threat.
Never.
What do you guys? What did he actually say?
The quote was, "Your time will come."
Yeah, that's right.
And apparently, it's eerily similar to Taron Thomas has been accused of some domestic violence stuff.
Yes.
And some of the message threads have come out, and he said something eerily similar to a woman. It wasn't your time will come. It was your time. It was similar. So
Yeah.
But it's all speculation as well. Let's not get into too much of this.
Yeah. But it's
just a very bizarre thing
This
to
is
say.
what Clarko has said to a
and
lady journo.
He followed it up 2 days later saying he cannot promise that he won't do it again.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's just.
I get that we
It's out
love. I get that we love Clarko, and
Well, I don't love Clarko.
I understand, but I'm inclined to say, and this is probably a flaw that we all have with coaches is when they're being a dick, we just go, he's got high standards and he's a character.
But the problem is Clarko is just. He's just a real dick, though.
Yeah, it can be.
And
he can be.
Always has been. I mean, we'll go into it later with, I believe, one of our segments. But
we're working towards coaching.
Yes.
Today, but it is to say your time will come to just some random
in a threatening manner.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
Who did he say it to?
I don't even know her
a
name.
female journalist that was asking.
I forget what network she was with.
It was Nine.
Yeah, I
he
think it
ended
was
up
Nine.
going into their offices and pleading his case. Apparently.
Yeah, God, it's just not a good look, Clarko. Just say no comment.
Yeah, just relax.
say no comment.
Jesus.
Either way, we're going to go straight into the segment we have teased, and the segment that got 50,000 views on TikTok this past week.
Can I just say thank you to everyone that's interacted with our various social medias.
It's quite incredible.
It
Really.
is. We've felt very touched.
Very happy with the
50,000 people.
downloads. Very happy with the interactions on Instagram, TikTok. Very good, very good.
The
Thank
amount
you.
of people that have told us their boy.
Yeah, there's about 250 boys selected.
So it's an influx. It's an avalanche of boys.
Yeah.
But this is the segment. It's Adopt Your Boy. We will eventually have theme music of boys, boys, boys. I'm looking for a good time. Boys, boys, boys. Get ready for your love. We'll check in on arguably the most prolific boy this week. Corey, your boy is Sam Flanders.
Sammy Flanders.
How did Sammy go?
He's proving his boyhood. I tell you what.
He is.
He kicked a magnificent snag. Lukosius just launched one up, and Sammy was there, ready.
Top of the square.
He's given it the Ronaldinho, and the upside down bicycle kick. Pretty much. I might be putting some sauce on it.
No,
It's pretty good.
It was a
It's pretty good.
Ronaldinho-esque soccer goal.
The clip is out there if you want to look it up. It is magnificent. Kick the snag. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's round one lock.
Yes,
Like, he's got to be a round one lock. Yeah.
Big time. Big time.
Yeah.
And, just quickly, Sammy has been in contact, and
We were playing golf when we got the message.
may or may not be a future guest on the show, just quietly.
It could happen.
Yes.
It could. We don't want to count our chickens.
No.
We don't want to count our boys before they hatch. But we could get Sammy Flanders on the pod.
Yes.
It could happen.
Yep.
How about Joey Richards, your boy? As you can see, if you go to the other camera there, Corey, you'll see the beautiful frame that Joel has of Joey Richards. You've forgotten yours, but Joel hasn't. Have a look at Joey. How'd he go in the scratchy?
Well, this is the closest I'm going to get to watching him last week because he didn't play.
Did he not play?
No.
Is there any word why?
No word why, but he's playing a VFL practice game this weekend.
All right. Well, you got to watch that, Joel.
I will watch that,
You got to
Good.
find a way to watch it.
Good.
Yep, not a problem.
Okay. Well,
he's a gun.
How do you think he's going to shape up in it? What position do you think he'll
I
play?
think he'll be playing forward pocket
Yep.
or that forward flank role. So off the midfield, run in, set some stuff up. That's what he was doing in the country leagues. So
No, he can get a few influential plays there. You know,
Oh,
He
100%.
can do some things. And my boy Paddy Parnell was playing in the Adelaide Scratchy. I forget who they were playing, but
Freo.
Yes, it was Freo. I think if I was to guess, about 8 touches.
Okay.
And that's give or take. It could have been 6, could have been 10, but very back pocket small defender touches. You know, involved in play.
But he's
here and
playing
there.
a role.
He's
He's
playing a
doing
role.
his job.
He's playing a role, and that's what he's going to do all season. Really, I think he is going to be in their best 22, and that's why I've been so invested in him. Is because I think he could have a breakout year if there's an injury in this in this Adelaide back six.
Yes.
Like if they don't have a running defender, which is the meta of AFL at the moment, which we will get into in our coaching talk later on. But I think Paddy could be this person could be this launching distributor for the Adelaide backline.
I'm interested to see.
If
him
only
play.
he got the chance. But he can absolutely do it. So that's Adopt Your Boy. But we also got, Joel, people sending us in their boys. There was so much engagement.
So many.
Let's we can go through the we uploaded the TikTok, and thank you if you've followed the pod, if you've listened to it on Spotify or whatever platform we're on. We uploaded the TikTok,
The most liked one. Someone mentioned that Sammy Flanders was a great pick.
Yeah, that was the
hundreds
top
of
of
likes.
the
Hundreds
top of the
likes on
thing.
that one.
There was another one I saw. Will Gould was adopted as a boy. Gouldy was adopted as a boy.
A lot of people liking Ed Richards.
Just
well.
getting up the comments now, boys.
Yeah, getting up the Joel's getting up the comments. If you can go with the toppies and see what our listeners and viewers are giving for their boys, because we do encourage you to adopt.
Yes.
You should get involved in this process. What have we got, Joel?
So we got Brad Close.
Oh, great boy.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of Mabby or Chol also, but in that Geelong team, not a lot of boys.
Not a lot of boys.
A lot of them are ineligible.
So Marcus Winhager,
Oh, who's he play for?
St
Who's
Kilda.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
If we ask who does he play for, that means he's a boy. Like immediately, yes.
Yeah.
We
I
thought
saw
someone was funny and thought Dustin Martin, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we told him no.
Okay.
Ineligible.
A few
Ineligible.
people were liking Mitch Owens from the Saints as well.
Yeah. Well, look, Saints
Definitely
is
a boy.
boy city. It is.
Frederick's got a lot of mentions,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Frederick's almost too famous in WA, you know?
Connor
In
West as
WA,
well.
for sure.
People love him.
I mean, he's got a nickname, King Freddie.
Yeah,
so
of course.
If
Like-
you've got a nickname,
and he's
that's almost
he's
ineligible.
also very handsome, you know? Yeah,
He's a handsome fella.
The less handsome, the better. Who else we got, Joel?
we got Connor West, WA boy.
Love that. Look,
Don't mind that.
Eagles,
Don't mind
again,
that.
huge boy team.
Yeah, they
Huge.
are.
Mitch
There
George
they are.
Yardis as well.
George Yardy's, he won Mark of the Year, didn't he?
Did he?
Didn't he win Mark of the Year? I
George
swear he did.
Yardis.
I swear
Oh no, he
won
did.
this.
Yep, dead set.
Ineligible.
It's
I'll say it. Ineligible.
Did anyone pick
No
my man
deal.
Rhett Bazzo?
No, I don't. No one I've saw has
Didn't
picked
see
Rhett Bazzo.
One mention from my boy.
Shout out to Rhett. You are the boy king.
He
This
is the boy king.
I thought Corey was going to pick him, and then
I almost was.
and you've gone with Sammy Flanders,
I went
which
with
is
Sammy Flanders, but Rhett was strong number
Rhett's
two.
such a boy.
He is a big
He's
boy.
such a boy. But you could say that about like 12 blokes on the Eagles. It's
do
a
have
boy
a lot
city.
of them. Jai Cully.
Anyway, we go. Oh, Jai. Oh man. If
Did he
there's
work
anyone-
at Chicken Treat or
I
somewhere?
swear
chicken,
I have
a
seen him
Porto or
serve
something?
me a 3-piece crunchified box.
I think he still does.
A chicken treat. Anyway, we're going to get actually quite tactical this week,
Okay.
boys.
Yep.
Quite tactical. It's going to be our top 5 coaches post the year 2000. We're going to give you our top 5, starting at 5, and we'll work our way through.
Yep.
So I'm actually interested to see what our 4 and 5 is going to be, because it seems like the top 3 is pretty sorted. I don't know. I haven't seen what you've picked, but I'll go my 5 first. My 5th pick is Kevin Sheedy.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
When he sneaks in with the 2000 premiership.
Yeah, he does. He does. And I think what he did
But
with,
his influence on the game past that.
yeah, with the Dreamtime round
Yeah.
and with the coaching at GWS,
Yes.
I think that club does not go on the run of prelims and grand final appearances without Kevin Sheedy setting
No, certainly
the
not.
tone. Who do you have for 5, Corey?
Number 5, Bevo.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, he's-
Actually love that.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
great. The single premiership, obviously, in 2016, but
Got to the grand final against Melbourne.
yes,
Yeah.
of course. But that finals run was just so entertaining to watch.
It was legit one of the best things.
It was fantastic.
It's one of the best underdog stories I've seen in
from
footy.
7th, I believe.
Yeah.
they got there.
And the teams
No
they
one's
beat,
ever
they
done
beat
it.
Eagles.
Yeah.
GWS. Didn't they beat Hawthorn as well?
I believe so. Yes.
I'd have to. Yeah, it was awesome. Love that
Fantastic,
for a 5.
and love his character as well. Just
He's definitely got character.
impresses.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's the type of bloke that would, you reckon he'd skateboard down to the club?
He's
Oh,
a,
yeah,
He'd
absolutely.
be
He's a
down having a
fella-
surf with the players.
he's
he'd
a
have
fella
skate.
that backs his boys.
Yeah.
and he'll get out there in front of him, and he just doesn't take any shit.
There's
And I love it.
one
I
of
love that.
the Bulldogs could have a player charged with a serious crime,
Yeah.
and Bevo would be like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Especially if Tom
I don't know
Morris
what you're
comes
talking
out and
about. It is
reports
not
it as
your
well.
place. It is not your place to ask me.
That round one Bevo Tom Morris drama
It was crazy.
like he was
I thought
vindicated.
he was going to jump the table.
I thought he was. And who are you taking in that fight?
Bevo.
Bevo, 100%. Look at him.
He would eat him alive. He would eat him alive. Jolie, who is your number 5 coach post the year 2000?
I've got Lee Matthews
Oh,
Lethal.
5!
Have 5.
at 5.
Hey, what are you high?
How?
So, okay, you've got to look at what he did after the year 2000. We're not counting what he did beforehand.
He
Yeah,
won
I
a
know.
three-peat.
Yes, he
01,
won a
01, 02, and 03.
Hey, I've got my
Sell
stats
it.
here too.
Joel,
So,
sell it to us.
look,
I'm shocked.
for those years, those 4 years where, 5 years between 2000 and 04, he had 3 flags, 4 grand final appearances,
Yeah.
1 semi-final, was going at about 70%, but it was after that where Brisbane kind of fell away.
Yeah.
So it's only really 5 years.
But it's like a three-peat
But there was a
in those
three-peat.
5
Hey,
years.
and I've got 4 people above him that Look.
The people you've got above Lee, I am...
Is there some coaches that I'm forgetting exist?
What
is...
Do you reckon
honestly,
Lee listens to podcasts?
I'm already shocked.
He is now.
I
He's
am
gonna-
now.
He's
Lee,
going for me.
He's going to come for you.
Lee, get cut to the camera. Lee, he's incorrect. You are the top. You're in the top 3, Lee. You're in the top
Look.
3. All right. You can't justify it. It's a wrong pick.
That's as crazy as
my
falling in love
number
with a French
4.
surfer.
My number 4 coach post the year 2000.
Yep.
Chris Scott.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's
He's not in my 5.
I can
but
understand.
I do like it.
wouldn't have put him in my 5 apart from this past flag. That's what has got him over the line.
Vindication.
Vindication. In 2011 and 2022, winning those flags, I think adapting to very different eras of the game and getting the most out of his list. And also really never missing finals. His win percentage, I don't know exactly what it is, but it would be high. His finals appearance percentage would be very high.
72%.
72% win
win,
percentage
yeah.
overall.
That's finals isn't great.
I rest my
that's
case.
very good.
I rest my case.
That's very good.
I think that obviously it's very harsh to judge a coach just on flags, but you kind of have to.
Yeah.
You kind of have to. Chris Scott's 4. Chris Scott's 4. for me.
Sometimes in an individual year, you can argue that a coach is given a great list or a shit list.
Yeah.
But he's been at it for so long, and their percentage speaks for itself over the time period.
I think he's just one of the greats
Yeah,
of the modern
very
game.
good.
Of the modern game. So
Very
that's
good.
my 4. Corey,
Very good.
your number 4.
Joel's going to love this one. Ross the Boss.
Ross the boss.
Ross the
Oh
boss.
yes. Okay.
He's the boss.
Sell it. Sell Ross.
Well, I mean, he's obviously never won the flag,
Yep.
but the stranglehold that he put on the league for a couple of years, just with the Dockers, with that zone lockdown,
it was congested footy.
it strangled the league.
And he
I
took
mean,
2 teams for those grand finals as well.
Yeah.
Not just the
Well,
one.
I-
2 lists.
I
The
think
O-
his-
it is the
his-
09 Saints were arguably the best team to never win a flag.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was great, but I think his tenure at the Dockers was even more impressive because the list was shitter.
Yeah.
And I mean, he had Pav, obviously, but
Mundy, Ballantyne.
just locking it down. And at one point, they were 3 games clear at the top of the
Yeah.
ladder. Like it was,
Yeah.
it was absurd.
And it only it's another thing of him just happening to run into the Hawks 3-peat in the grand
Yeah.
final. If Clarko doesn't exist, he's a premiership coach.
Yeah.
I think that's a
and
comfortable
I
thing.
also love, again, just like Bevo, I love his presses. Hilarious.
Yeah,
Just absolutely ruthless.
And his players just love him. Like, they will run through a
Yeah,
wall
they-
for
they
him.
do.
Yeah, he does have a
And
ringing endorsement for everybody.
in between his coaching, when he's got into the media, his analysis was actually incredible. Like,
Yeah, when you
very, very good analysis.
When you get Ross in front of a
Yeah.
TV going, all right,
He
here's
got
the
it-
shape, here's what we're
Yeah.
doing, here's what's happening.
he was on
It's-
some
yeah.
of those on the panel show, the Sunday Footy Show, I think it was.
Footy classified as well.
Footy classified.
Oh.
And they would always just cut
Shoot
to
that
him.
pause it out, Will.
They would just cut to him, and his analysis was great. Like,
Yeah.
love him or hate him, he's a good coach.
Yeah.
Well,
I love that for a 4.
Yeah, love it.
Joel, you're number 4.
My number 4, so I've got Chris Scott as well.
Yeah, okay, yep. I
Very
love that
similar.
we're the same.
Yeah,
Yes.
same reasons as you.
There's going to be some crossover.
Yeah, the top
Yeah.
3 is going to be you. Lee at 5. I can't believe it,
Lethal
but
at
yes.
5, absurd.
Chris Scott above Lee Matthews.
Just.
It doesn't make any sense.
He's been doing it for longer. That's the thing.
What?
Make
He
it make
doesn't have a
sense, Joel.
three-peat.
Okay, we're going over to 3. My number 3 as coaches for post the year 2000, Lee Matthews. Number 3
Number
is
three.
Lee. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I wanted to put him
Sell
higher.
it to us.
Well,
What are you going to sell?
I think it was the end of a dying era for Lee Matthews. It was a very forward attacking game style, hard nuts. It was back when you could probably belt a bloke in
Yes.
a finals game of football. It was still the transitionary period, but they called him lethal for a reason. Everyone who played under him spoke to how motivational he was as a coach, and I think there's no more representative moment of Lee Matthews coaching and the effect it has on players than Alistair Lynch going fucking gangbusters with Shane Wakeland in the 04 Grand Final and just boxing him on the opening siren. And if you haven't seen this, viewers, look up Alistair
fantastic.
Lynch and Shane Wakeland
It is fantastic.
boxing each other. You know that Lee's just given him a spray before the game saying, Lynchy, I need you to go hard.
They
and
are
he's gone
squared
straight
up.
Lynch, they are right next to each other. Just right hooks, left hooks,
Crazy.
uppercuts. You wouldn't see it. You would not
And
see it now.
just on a side note for Lethal, I know we're talking about his coaching, but one of the greatest players to never win the Brownlow
absolutely,
for that
yeah.
exact reason.
Yeah, because
he was
not
never
fair.
eligible.
He was not fair.
He was never
suspended
eligible.
all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lethal. The three-peat happened. You could make a case for him to be number 1 in
He
this
also
list.
brought in a very clear rule as well, which still sticks to this day, was the no sex during December and January.
Was that Lee?
That was Lee.
Because you didn't want the 9 months to tee up with September.
Exactly.
I rate it.
Great decision,
Lee.
yeah.
Well, also, this is why we need a male contraceptive.
They're coming along.
for
They are-
footballers.
they are coming along.
Well, I think if I was an AFL coach, I would have all my players on male contraceptives during the timing of that finals.
Well, we
thing.
could go into the whole Clarko chat where he wouldn't let people go see their girlfriends and different things
Oh,
like that.
that's a whole other kettle of
I
fish.
don't know about the ethics of
Who's your
all
number
of that.
3? Corey.
Number 3, I'm going to have to go Dimmer.
Dimmer at 3?
Dimmer at 3.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Dimmer at 3.
Sell it.
Well, look, 17, 19, and 20. I love how hard-nosed he is. Fantastic. I put him at 3 because his list has always been quite good.
I would disagree with that. It took a long time for the Richmond list to get good.
It did, and he was in there for a while, but I just
He's in his
feel...
13th year now.
13th year.
13th,
Is that,
yeah.
is that right?
Yeah.
Well, look, maybe I think 3 and 2 on my list are very interchangeable.
Yeah, it is very small margins
Yeah.
we're talking about here for this.
And I don't like the Richmond Football Club. I don't like
Yep.
many of their players, if
Yep.
any. They've got the most punchable face
Yep, yep,
at
look.
full forward.
I'm sold.
But I do like Dimmer. I respect him a lot.
Yeah, I really liked him. Joel, who's your number 3?
I've got Hardwick as well at 3.
Okay,
He's got the best
yeah,
coaching
all right.
record in finals post the year 2000.
Well, that's a huge tip.
Say that again?
Best finals record post 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that
That
say?
doesn't surprise me.
62.5.
And this goes
yeah.
into my
That is very good.
my prediction for this year from last episode. I think they'll win the flag. I think they will win the flag.
I just as late mail, right before we started recording, my brother sent me an article that it outlines why it is extraordinarily possible that they
Yeah.
will win this flag.
Yeah.
They're taking the Collingwood approach. Why Collingwood ended the way they did with all the close games.
Yeah.
Last year, Richmond went. I have to pull up the article, but I think they went 1 and 8. One win, 8 losses for games that were within we're getting close.
And you know who was an assistant of Dimmer Hardwick? I believe it was Fly, or wasn't Fly an assistant of Clarko?
I think Clarko.
They were both Clarko
Yeah.
assistants. That's what I meant.
It's something in terms of coaching that we might have to bring up on another pod. The family tree of coaches.
Oh yeah, it's a whole
that
thing
are
you can
under
do.
Clarko.
Oh,
Adam
it's so
Simpson,
incestuous.
Bevo.
Yeah.
There's
We're going.
all of them.
Well, this will come up in the article I'm going to read later on. Number 2, I've got Dimmer as number 2
Okay,
post the year 2000 for the
Yep.
reasons you said.
Yep.
What he's done with Richmond, I think, is the evolution of the game of Clarko.
Yeah. Can you tell us anything about Dimmer's tactics, his strategy?
I think it is really the logical conclusion of the game of Alistair Clarkson's Hawthorn when they did their three-peat.
Richmond likes to bring it to the ground.
They like to bring it to the ground. You don't need to dominate possession to win the game. You don't need to...
It's effective possession.
it's effective possession, effective counter-attack football, and
Sometimes chaotic.
everyone buy... Yeah, exactly. Control territory, buy into the defensive game plan, control what you can control, meaning when the ball hits the deck, you back your guys in who are going to put their head over the footy, hands it out, and then we are on. And it reminds me of the Hawthorn three-peat. You got guys like Dusty, Shy Bolton,
Yep.
Daniel Rioli.
Love Shy Bolton,
I
by the
love
way.
Shy
I
Bolton.
know I just said I don't like the Richmond Football Club.
There's so many guys you like.
I love
There's
Shy
so
Bolton.
many guys you
He's
like.
great.
I think it is. We're in an attacking era of coaching,
We are, yep.
and it's because of Clarko. Dimmer is the phase 2 of Clarko's game plan. So I think that's mine. That's
makes
my
sense.
justification.
That makes sense.
Your number 2, Corey.
Number 2, Lethal Lee.
Yeah, love it.
That's where
love
he
it.
deserves to be, not fucking 5.
Five, Joel. Jesus.
I won't say much about it. I mean, we've been through it already, but
Yep.
number 2, Lethal.
Yeah, love
Tick.
it. Joel, your number 2.
Okay, so here's where I differ a bit from you two. John Longmire.
Ooh, I nearly put him at number 5, Joel. I nearly put him
before
at number
Corey
5.
loses his shit, and
The horse.
yeah,
The big horse. The big horse.
So we saw what he did.
You put John above Lethal.
Okay, so here's my argument.
Like,
And look,
Very bizarre.
here's my argument. It is very hot today, so the heat.
It's a
does-
hot day. Yeah, give me
Mate,
one. Give me one. Corey.
we've both got sunstroke and we haven't gone that retarded.
We played 18 holes of golf in 35-degree heat, and we didn't put John Longmire at 2.
Okay, so I look at it like this. He took 2 completely different lists to grand finals.
Yep.
So he's done a mini rebuild on the go.
And won a
taken-
flag. He did win a
that's-
flag.
So he
You
won
know
the
what?
flag in...
That's actually that's a good point.
It is
That-
a good point,
that-
Joel.
That's
It
pretty-
is.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2012, he won the flag and took a whole new team to him this year. Or 2022, yeah. So 10 years later,
Okay.
he's
I like
taken
that.
a whole new team to a possible premiership.
But
Obviously, they got
is
flogged,
he,
but
who was your 3?
hard.
Chris
But
Scott.
You think he's
Oh,
better than Dimmer?
Dimmer's had a really good list and he's done it with one go. I'm saying John
Yeah.
Longmire's gone from the top to the bottom.
Longmire has been consistent. I think Longmire is very similar to Chris Scott in this regard, in the fact that they've been, for the most part, up there in finals and really just getting the absolute most out of their list and developing it. But fuck, 2.
Yeah.
2 is a lot.
Was.
And to nobody's surprise, my number 1 coach post the year 2000, Alistair Clarkson.
Clarko.
What do you reckon?
Well, he's not in my top 5.
He's not in your top
No,
5.
I don't like him. Don't like Clarko.
Oh, Corey.
Hang on, you didn't put Clarko as number 1.
No.
I am
Or 2, 3,
legit
4, 5.
shocked.
We can,
I am shocked.
We can get into
You
Joel.
just spent 5 minutes bagging me out about
He's
Lee
won-
Matthews.
Joel, your opinion to me is worth so little. After putting Lethal at number 5.
After
You've
putting
left
no,
Clarko off the list.
you've left Clarko out of the top
not in it.
5.
He's not
That
in it.
is- okay, he's won the 3-peat.
I'll get into
13,
it.
14
You tell us why.
I'll sell it. I'll sell it.
I'll back
so
you up
Clarko,
as well.
after we've talked about Ross the Boss,
Yes.
and how congestion and defence defined the game for so long. What broke that was Alistair Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
What broke that was the Hawthorn. It was of 2008 coming up against Geelong, but then 13, 14, 15 of the 3-peat really broke
Well,
it open.
2008 came pretty early for them. They didn't expect to have that year they had.
But it was still due to his coaching
Oh,
that they
100%,
won.
yeah.
Yes, they had Buddy Franklin. Yes, they had Sam Mitchell, Luke Hodge, Burgoyne, all these guys. Obviously, Stewie Dew played the best game anyone has ever played in the 08 final.
Yep.
But Clarko's cluster, they call it, which we will talk about after this segment,
Yes.
was the complete antithesis to Bomber Thompson's Geelong. And Bomber Thompson would be an honourable mention for my 5, but he was completely outcoached by Clarko.
Yep.
And
And
a new era was brought in.
as we mentioned
we're still
before-
in the Clarko era. We are still in it.
As we mentioned before, his underlings have got a significant impact as well.
Dimmer.
Simpson, Dimmer,
Bevo.
Bevo,
Ratton. Ratton was there as
Ratton,
well.
Ratton was there.
It's,
Yeah.
There's a family tree that you can see online. It's
Wasn't
actually,
Goodwin a Clarko
Yeah, I
underling?
believe so, yeah.
I think
It's unbelievable.
almost every premiership coach. Adam
Yeah.
Simpson, it's every premiership coach. You can't deny his
Okay.
influence.
Well, that's
So
that's
who's
sort
your
of
number one, Corey? If you've not got Clarko in your top 5,
My
I
number
am-
one is Michael Malthouse.
Oh, yeah, all right. You know what? I was ready to, say you've got no idea what are we doing this podcast for.
Okay.
But
So
yes,
we've got the 2010 Premiership.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But also,
That is
more importantly than that, the mustache.
yeah, it
That
is
was
a
a
huge
gorgeous
tash.
mustache.
It is a huge
Gorgeous
tash.
mustache.
And also,
And it progressed from black to grey.
it did.
Very
it did.
gracefully.
And also, Christy Malthouse, a bit of how you going.
Bit of how you going.
A bit of how you going.
You would never say it.
You'd never say it to Mick.
No.
But I
No.
would take her out to a nice seafood dinner.
No,
I
but-
would.
Look, he's good. Oh, Mick's good.
No, tell him about the strategy, Corey. You've got him number 1.
Come on, sell
Go
it to
for
us, mate.
What was
Just
this?
bomb it.
Yeah, just bomb it down the wings. Go down the wings.
Down the
Bomb it
guts.
down the wings. Like
I think Mick was so old school that he had strategy and tactics, but where he excelled as a coach was in breaks and off the field, getting the best out of his players away from game day. I think that's where he excelled.
I agree. I really wanted to put Mick at number 5.
Yeah.
I
was going to put him number 5,
And you've chucked him
I
one.
chucked him one because I knew what you guys were going to pick. and
I
just wanted to
like
put him
it.
number
I
five.
like that
Yeah.
you're being different. And also, I think that that Collingwood team of 2010 could have been a dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
It came in between Geelong and Hawthorn, and Sydney was involved in there as well. But just the fact that he won a flag with that Collingwood team.
I think, like I was saying, how he excelled away from game day. That was right at the era where Ross the Boss come in.
Yeah.
and
He
these-
beat
and
Ross
the-
the Boss.
and these types of he
Twice.
did, but not at Freo.
Yeah.
not with
yeah,
Freo.
yeah.
But these types of tactics came in that he just didn't know what to do.
Yeah. I think it was.
And his tenure at Carlton
He was the
not
last
good.
bastion of a dying era of coaches.
His tenure
Yeah.
at Carlton was not
good at all.
Not
Oh, it's
great.
Not good
terrible.
at all.
Great.
But you know what? I respect it because
Love him.
calm the
Mick,
pies.
if
That's
you're listening, good on you.
big fan, Mick.
Yeah, big fan.
Jolie, you're number 1.
Look, I went with Clarko.
Yeah.
4 flags, 5 grand finals,
Yep.
58% win streak over 17 years.
Yeah. See, the reason I didn't have Clarko in there is he's just not a good bloke.
Well, often coaches are not good blokes.
He wasn't a good bloke as a player, and he's not a good bloke as a coach.
well,
He doesn't need to be a good bloke as a player. It's got nothing to do with his coaching record.
He knocked out Ian Aitken in 1987.
I haven't
from
seen that
behind.
footage. Is it brutal?
It's brutal. And it was a practice match in England. It wasn't even for anything. And
So
Ian Aitken,
describe the knockout to
Ian
me.
Aitken was Rookie of the Year in 1997.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic, fast-running defender. Clarko has come up and from behind, haymakered him, broke his jaw. Ian Aitken played 66 games.
Yeah, look,
It-
that's
that-
not good.
he
I'll have to
never
look up
recovered.
this footage.
He never
Yeah,
recovered.
look. So
And he
this
was a dirty player, and all of his stuff with...
well, so was
it's-
Dimmer. Dimmer was a dirty
He
player
was a dirty
too.
player.
Dimmer was
But-
definitely-
But did Dimmer ever king hit someone from behind?
Probably.
I mean, you could probably find footage, but we'll see.
to be honest,
the homework for
Lethal
this
probably
week.
did
Yeah,
as well.
Lethal did
Lethal
too.
probably did.
Lethal did it.
But Lethal's a lad.
Every week.
Lethal is a lad. Clarko's not a lad.
The thing is, Chris Scott would have done the exact same.
Absolutely. Oh, the Scott twins were menaces.
Yeah.
They were menaces. Either way, this is
And
going
Lee
into...
Matthews. So our lists are basically blokes that would have absolutely belted their
Yeah,
opponents.
absolutely. So this is going into an article I've found this week, which is going to go into a book that I have ordered. But it's by the ABC's Russell Jackson, and we're talking about coaching. We're talking about tactics.
This is very interesting. You've
we've been in the group chat.
You've squared this
discussing
out with me, and this is quite
It
interesting.
is very. This has changed my thinking of AFL. This article, and I would encourage you to read it. But I'm going to read it out to you now. Modern day tactics are impenetrable to AFL fans. Is it time for that to change? By Russell Jackson. By Russell Jackson at the ABC. For the best part of a decade now, the likelihood of watching and thoroughly understanding a game of AFL football has altered as drastically as at any point in the game's history. Keep in mind, this article was written in 2015,
Yes.
during the three-peat of Clarko
So
and the Hawks.
he's ahead of the curve here.
Yeah.
Because I've found one of the biggest, it's not a problem for me because I love the inverted commas state of the game.
Yes,
I
me
think,
too,
I
me
think it's
too.
great. But I come into contact with a lot of older folks that think the game's fact.
Yeah, and they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they don't
They don't know
understand
what's
it.
going on.
They
And
don't
it's-
understand it.
And it's not their fault.
No,
That's
no,
what
no.
this argument gets into. For fans and pundits, this means the acknowledgement of two football realms that exist in parallel to each other, never quite meeting. The first is the one we occupy as observers. Looking on from stands and our sofas as we always have, appreciating skillful players, pack marks, blinding goals, and momentum swings, the fundamental elements in which we've always emotionally invested ourselves. The other is how footy actually works in 2015. And this is such a predictive thing of... It's just... Get the beer out, John. Get the beer
Oh,
out.
I was getting there. I didn't know what he
Continue.
How footy actually works in 2015, and this is this article has aged like a fine wine, is what I'm saying.
It has, yeah.
Painstakingly devised and heavily layered tactics, decipherable only to those creating and executing them, the players and coaches. And this is what I'm trying to get into here. We are talking about, our top 5 coaches. We're really just observers. We don't really know.
Yes.
What the game plan is in comparison to other sports, there's a real disconnect.
You and I were talking earlier today after our round of golf that it's such a hard game to fundamentally understand.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the data that's collected, it is crazy how many data points they collect. There's like 40 stats.
But also,
for
we don't
every
have
player.
access to every bit of data.
No,
That's
we
exactly
don't.
right. It's all done by champion
But
data for the most part, and we don't get access
every-
to all
every
of
other-
champion data's stats.
Every other professional sport, it's so definable
Yeah.
and so easily shown in statistics. But I mean, there's wins that the stats just don't make any sense for. And
Yeah.
that doesn't happen in other
It
professional
really
sports.
doesn't. It is, and it's such a dynamic sport with so many variables that you're right. It is completely, almost undecipherable. But
And you add into that the size of the field, like the
amount
of players.
Yeah.
This isn't so much interplay as coexistence. Two key stakeholders of the game, meaning the players versus the coaches and the players versus the fans. Two key stakeholders of the game awkwardly bumping against each other, harbouring unspoken but very real resentments. Remember when you could genuinely understand what was happening in a game of football by merely looking at the field? Now it's all blurry. Clusters, zones, rotations, presses, and stoppages all squiggled onto a whiteboard inside your head, all in colour-coded acronyms. ABC journalist James Coventry has pondered the disconnect between these two worlds at length. After reading Inverting the Pyramid, Jonathan Wilson's exhaustive and revelatory examination of football, meaning soccer's tactical evolution, he wondered why no such book existed in the Australian rules section, and so set about redressing the balance by writing one himself. I've ordered this book.
Yeah,
It's
so
coming
who
to me.
is what's John? I'd be interested to see what Jonathan Williamson's background is.
James Coventry, you mean? The guy who
he's
wrote
the
the book. That's
author
the
of the
guy who
book.
wrote this book that I have ordered.
Who are you referencing with the upside down triangle, Jonathan?
So it's the writer of this book is James Coventry,
Okay.
and it is.
Did he play footy?
It is. I don't know actually. I just know
we'll
he's an
look into
ABC
that.
journalist, and
Okay.
the book
He
is
might
called.
be a bean counter.
The book is called Time and Space: The Tactics That Shaped Australian Rules Football.
I'm very
and
interested in that.
Inverting the Pyramid was a book about soccer, I believe.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's
I
thinking,
see.
why
I see.
don't we have a book about this in AFL?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
No, it's all right. Like it's so easy for us to try and understand what coaches are doing in AFL, but have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because we're not coaches, we're not
It's-
players.
It's interesting as well. Look, I've heard our Lord and Savior Scott Pendlebury
He
talk
is-
about this almost exactly this before. He used to have a podcast with a couple of journos over east, and he was mentioning that tactics are extremely hard to discern without behind the goal footage. And gaining behind the goal footage.
So this is
integral.
right on the goal line in the goal square.
Looking across, looking completely
Like
down
imagine
the
you're
field.
sitting in the fifth tier
Yeah.
at the
And
MCG,
he was saying
right behind the goals.
the importance of having that video, that footage of the entire field vertically. You can just see everything happening, and everything just clicks into place.
Yeah, that is.
But that footage isn't available.
No,
You-
it's
you
not.
can't-
It's not. And wouldn't you love to have that
Of
as a
course.
viewer?
I mean,
as
you talk about soccer with the inverted triangle
Yeah.
stuff. You see it all the time in soccer.
Yeah.
And
But
American
also
football-
you see pundits adequately explaining it in
Yes.
soccer. You see like guys like Jamie Carragher, Thierry Henry's great, Roy Keane. These guys will explain to you, all right, this is what the wing backs are doing. This is what these positions
That's
are
a
doing.
lot easier to do when you've got less players on the field.
Absolutely right. You know,
100%
11
it
v
is.
11 is much simpler to
100%
describe
it
than
is.
18 versus 18.
Yeah.
It is much easier. But we'll go on with this article. What's actually reassuring about Coventry's findings, if you're the type who frets about the way that modern football looks, is the constant theme of change and evolution throughout the game's history and how nothing ever stands still for very long.
Well, it's always been changing.
Exactly. It's only really 3 or 4 years
always been
where an
changing.
era is an era.
That's part and parcel with the game.
Yeah.
It's been changing for 150 fucking years.
But they
It
can
is-
change the rules of anything, and the coaches will figure out a way to.
And I think there's
get around
there's a bit of both here. They change the rules to try and make the game more aesthetically pleasing, like now you see with the stand rule and the 666 and all that.
But the
There's-
coaches
there's-
will use that to try and win a game.
There's rules. There's rules to make the game aesthetically pleasing. That's under Gill's tenure to make the game more high
Yep.
scoring.
And he's
which-
tried.
and
Credit to him.
Credit to him. And I like the stand rule.
I
So
hated it at the start.
I
and
hated the start. Everyone did.
I
and
just hated how they had to call
But-
it out, and they had to be told
There's-
stand
there's
and all that other
rules.
crap.
and I will say that I'm about to eat me fucking words here because I did a whole rant on TikTok about this, saying
Yes.
it is dumb, it is completely counterintuitive.
I'm going to go back and find this TikTok.
It is. I'm rinsing
Against
Steve
the stand
Hawking.
rule?
Yeah, against the
Yeah,
stand rule.
yeah.
I'm rinsing him. But the stats show that after the stand rule was introduced, movement from the back 50 to the forward 50 increased in a significant way after the 2 years.
And again, going back to what we brought this up before the pod. The rules have had to change. The sport has only been truly professional for 30 years.
Yeah, it was since the 90s.
I mean,
yeah.
even in the 90s, a lot of guys had second jobs.
Exactly.
It's a truly professional sport where people are absolutely peak athletes,
Yeah.
and they just weren't 30 years ago. You can say what you want about the game 30 years ago, and how the game's changed and all this, but they're peak athletes now,
Yeah.
and they just weren't. I mean, Tony Lockett would run 300 meters a game.
Yeah, it was really there's
And now you've
Tony Lockett would not get drafted.
And now you've got key forwards running 8 kilometers.
Yeah, it's fucked.
It is insane.
You could also have a
Coventry-
dart at halftime.
Oh,
You never need
absolutely.
tie.
And Dermot Brereton and Tony Lockett often did.
They did, yeah.
Coventry says that the traditional lack of technical analysis of the game in the media and among fans is a byproduct of the fact that it simply wasn't sophisticated enough to require such breakdowns until the late 1990s,
Yeah.
which is exactly what we're talking
It
about
ties
here.
in. Where it's when it became professional.
Exactly. Yeah. That was exactly the switch.
It's a natural evolution.
Guys were being brickies and then being footballers. They're not going to be able to devote this.
Sports science
Yep.
has evolved. I mean, in every professional sport around the world in 30 years as well. And
Yeah.
just so happened that it happened at the same time that our league became truly professional.
The knowledge gap is not an issue of media or fan indifference either. Put simply, most of those who want to crunch numbers and dig into the data don't have access to expensive advanced stat packages offered by providers like Champion Data,
Yep.
nor the behind the goal vision, which is exactly what you were
okay.
talking about,
Yeah.
used by club football departments to track ball and player movement. The behind the goal
And
vision.
they still put people up there, coaches and assistant coaches or whatever,
bet-
or
yeah.
someone that works at the club
Pendlebury
just to
was
watch.
Pendlebury was saying even as a club, it's difficult to get a hold of that vision.
Well, that's why
yeah,
they put someone
yeah,
up there
yeah.
from the club to watch the game
Yeah.
from
It's-
that spot.
I'll say, like, as someone
But
who...
he was saying, sorry to cut you off.
No, do it.
Joe, what he was saying is it should be a standardized thing. Like they shouldn't have to.
Oh,
do that
100%.
because you can't always do it.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's the thing.
I
That's
think,
why they're
and
putting
I
people
also
up there.
think it should be accessible to fans to
Of course.
to look at this vision.
I mean,
and
if
then,
you look at-
and then have someone explaining it to us.
Yeah,
have
if you look at Formula One, when you watch it on KO or whatever, you can choose what angles and
So what you want to press red for behind the goal vision
It's
or
like
something?
it's like press red, but on KO there's different
Yeah.
options.
and that's also when you go and see a football game live. Like I find myself watching the back line and seeing
see when
how they shape up across the
when
ground.
you watch the game live, you get a completely different feel. I mean,
Absolutely.
this happens every time. Every time you go to a game, you message the group chat, you message your mate, and they have the opposite opinion of
Yes.
the flow of the game. Then you like, what are you talking
Well,
about?
we need to start going to
Like-
games together.
Oh,
Or
well,
at least Perth
We've
games.
got
the-
perhaps
and the thing is-
we've got Sammy Flanders coming in round 5.
We can get his thoughts on some
We can
tactics.
we can ask him.
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
ask him.
100%.
Well, this is like, and again, I have not played football at a high level, but I have played football at in a competitive way. In amateur footy,
Are you playing this year?
I'll probably rock up for a couple of thirds
Yes,
games.
good.
At Kilbinia Footy Club, shout out.
Shout out Cobinia.
Shout out Kilbinia.
What
We
are they?
love
What are
ya.
they called? The
No, we're the Falcons.
The
We're the
Falcons.
Falcons. So
Yeah,
like
good,
I'll just rock up to play thirds.
Yeah,
I'll
good.
play a key defender.
off centre half back.
Yeah, centre half back or
Yeah.
full back. I'll just take a tall
Yeah.
and nullify him. Well, I'll attempt to nullify him. But one of the big things that I was researching this week is football tactics of the 80s and 90s after reading this article. And one of them was the Fitzroy huddle, which is
Yes.
under, I forget who the coach was. I think this might have been Terry Wallace.
Terry Wallace.
I think it was Terry
Yeah, it was
Wallace.
Terry Wallace.
I could be wrong there. But in amateur footy, all I was told after I got there at age, 20, 21, 22, off of a kick out as a centre half back, being taller than most other people on the field, was if we're kicking out, we're doing the huddle. We're doing the huddle. Get to centre half back and then spread everybody.
I mean, it's effective.
Broke the game
Yeah.
in the 80s because people didn't know how to defend it. Alan Jeans didn't know how to defend it. Terry Wallace goes, oh yeah, we just thought we'd go rather than kick it long down the line, we'll get everyone in the middle, and then they all run out in different directions, and somehow you get a mark. It was a very big thing, and now
Revolutionary.
even 40 years ago, that is still the default. Like
That's the meta in amateur footy.
it's the meta. It worked. It worked a lot. Anyway, we're going out of this coaching discussion into our Saints supporter, dear Joel. Joel, is Joel okay?
You're right, Joel.
How were the Saints?
We need to get some music for this segment.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got to
I'll-
get.
I'll pull
You
something.
said you were going to. What song are you going to?
No, I'm going to record. I'm going to make a
Yeah, because we
song.
can't get
Yeah.
done for copyright. or
I'm going
anything.
to
Yeah.
make my own one.
You're going to do some vocal harmonies.
vocal harmonies,
So,
yeah.
Joel, tell us about the Saints. How are we going? How did the practice match go?
Look, the practice match wasn't fantastic. We're playing Melbourne, and Melbourne just came out and they played well. Everything went right for them, but it is a practice game.
I did see the score. I didn't watch the game, but I did see a score, and I know the scores don't particularly matter in these
don't
these
matter.
presets, but it was like 130 to 62 or something.
That's fucked.
Look, I don't think it was that bad. I could be wrong.
I think that's
but-
what I saw.
I believe Corey.
I think that's what I saw.
I believe him.
Okay, look, it wasn't great.
Who were some standouts?
Well, you would
Well-
think that the Grundy-Gorn combination would be pretty good.
That was insane.
Oh, you mean from
Seriously.
the? Do you mean
Was
from
it?
the Saints?
I didn't. No,
Do you mean
from the
from the
game.
Saints?
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean from
okay.
the Saints. We're
Yeah.
asking if Joel's okay. You know.
Yeah, well,
Because
look,
you think it probably played well.
Yeah.
thanks, guys. Yeah. Look, Gorn and
Oh,
Grundy,
Stephen May, how good!
Gorn and Grundy are going to be insane. Like
Yeah, it will be.
seriously,
It
they're
will
a
be
good
wild.
combo.
I am worried. I am very worried.
I'm worried not of how good they'll be. I'm just worried because I love Brody Grundy so much.
Yeah, he's a
that
gun.
I'm just worried that he's going to get injured.
How did? Yeah.
Okay,
just
but
worried about it.
getting back to the
Getting back
Saints.
to the
you're right,
Saints.
Joel.
Getting back to
Yeah.
the oh, when the Saints.
Alrighty, so
in.
How did Mateus Philippou
I
go?
was just getting to him.
Yeah. Mateus, how did he go?
Corey, shut the
Okay,
fuck
sorry.
up.
Sorry, mate.
So Mateus Philippou, he's a gun. Like seriously, he's going to be an absolute jet this year.
Yeah, he kicked one from about 55, didn't he?
He had 3 shots on goal within a quarter, I think.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
within
yeah.
a space of one.
Get him in your fantasy team if you haven't. Like,
Oh,
he's a
100%.
lock. He's
And
a
the
lock.
kids are good. So Owens, Winhager.
These practice matches, it's
Yeah, they don't count for much. Do
yeah,
they?
it's impossible to know who's on who.
Well, there was
Yeah,
7
that's-
periods.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. But sorry, continue.
I will continue. All right, the kids. So
on,
Nazai
sassy.
Oh, fuck me. Shut up,
Go,
Corey.
go, Joel. No, I'm with you. I'm with you,
Oh,
mate.
yeah.
Tell me how excited you are about these Saints.
Look, the kid's good.
Yeah.
The kids are very
What
good.
about the forward line? Did you have a tall target?
I don't
No.
think they have any left.
No, we
do they?
didn't.
So who was
Okay,
taking the marks in
So
forward
Cooper
50?
Sharman came in for the second half.
Who is Cooper
that?
Sharman? Who's Cooper
I
Sharman?
got picked up in the mid-season draft one year.
Did he play for another club?
No.
Okay, all right.
Sounds
okay.
Irish.
No,
Yeah,
South
Is he
Australian.
Irish? Okay.
Okay, all right.
All right, anyway, but look. So it wasn't fantastic by him.
Yeah.
We've got some injury worries. Jack Billings is out for 8 weeks now.
Yeah. Saw that.
Billings is a good player.
Billings
He
He
is.
was going to excel under Ross, I
I'm just
reckon.
worried that you don't have anyone to kick to in your forward
that's-
50.
We
Like,
will.
that's-
Crazy. They've been dropping
Who's
like
who,
flies.
Joel? Who?
Well, I
They've been
think
dropping like
you're going to have
flies.
Sharman up there. You're going to
Who
have...
is
We don't know
Sharman?
who that is.
Who is he?
Well, he would have been my boy if I could have picked a Saints player, but...
But you can't. How tall is Cooper Sharman?
Oh, 196?
Not that
Okay,
tall.
Give or
and,
take.
and he's never played a full AFL
No,
season.
no, he played all the games that King was out one year. I
Yeah.
think a couple of years ago or whatever. He was kicking bags of 3 and 4.
Let me ask you a question. So, with all of these,
I'm really trying to pedal this along here.
with all of the outs in the forward line, how are you? What's the?
I'm probably about a 6 out
Yeah.
of 10.
So you last week we asked you what the prediction was for the ladder,
Yeah,
and you
said eighth,
eighth.
I believe.
But do you still stand by you that the Saints can finish eighth?
I think they can.
How many?
No,
wins?
But-
Give me a prediction right now.
8th.
Eighth.
Okay,
You're
so
still
how many-
going
how
eighth.
many-
But
Alright.
I've got an issue here, and it's not with one of you two,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it's with Kane Corns.
Oh yeah, go on. Yeah, Kane gave you a
You're
rinse.
not going to attack friend of the show, Kane Corns.
Kane
Well,
Corns, just to let you know, he follows me on TikTok. He has duetted me on TikTok. He is a close personal friend. So be very careful with what you say here, Joel.
He
Look,
might
I
he might
haven't-
run 20 marathons
He
from
might, yeah.
bloody.
We could get him on the show. I'll
will
sit
run
him
over here.
right here.
He will
I'll
run
sit him
over
right
here
here.
and take a bite.
Get it. You want to have a go at
Yeah,
Kane?
I'll have a go.
Do it. Yeah, do it.
Look,
do it.
My issue is not with Kane. I love what he does. He comes out with hard-hitting opinions.
He does.
He says what
He
he, wants
does.
to
Well, they're
say.
not very good.
Well, look, just Corey,
He had-
give him a moment.
He had one on Jake Stringer this week as well, which I could go into in a bit. But yeah, go on, Jolie. Go
Look,
on.
so he's turned around and said Saints would be lucky if they win 2 out of their first 8.
Oh,
Well, I was going to ask you this question. How many losses? What's the win-loss record in the first 10 games that you would be happy with for the wheels to not have officially fallen off?
Okay, so without
Would it be
Maxi
2 and 8?
Oh, no, because that's my issue.
3
That's
and 7.
wheels falling off.
3 and
That is
7, the
wheels
wheels
falling
are
off.
still on.
I think in the first 10, I would say I'd want
4 and 6.
5 and 5 at
5 and
least.
5.
At least.
You want 5 and 5.
5 and 5, the
Yeah,
wheels
yeah.
are still on.
We're going to check back in.
so
Yeah,
4,
because then King's going to be back.
so 4 and
Yeah.
6,
Yeah.
the wheels are off.
When's look, it's
So back to my issue with Kane.
yeah, go with
Sorry.
your issue. What did Kane say
So
specifically?
he's turned around and said the Saints would be lucky to win 2 of their first 8. Now,
And
I'd like
he
to-
also, I think he said that they'd be lucky to match their 11 wins of last
Yeah, I
season.
think
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah,
tagline.
that was the
So
thing.
my issue with Kane, and I want to say this to him now.
Yeah, calling him out. Kane,
We're calling him
we're
out.
calling you out, Kane.
I'm not.
Go for it. Well, it's just Joel, but go.
Look, all I'm saying is Kane's put his money where his mouth is.
Yep.
And now I'd like to do it like officially. We love making little wages on this show.
Do it.
Here we go.
We did it last week.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Kane, if the Saints can win more than 3 in their first 8, I would love for you to go on TV on one of the shows you do. I don't know, SEN or whatever it is.
3 of 8.
Yeah, well, he said 2.
It's a small
Like-
wager you're making here. Maybe
well,
go 4. Like, you know.
Okay, I'll say 4. 4.
4 out of their first 8. 4
Yeah.
out of their first 8. Yeah,
4
yeah.
out of the first 8.
So if the Saints win 4 out of their first 8, what do you want Kane to do?
Get him to call into the show.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Okay.
An apology to the Saints supporters.
Well, we can reach out to him.
Oh, we can
reach out.
definitely get this
We
to him.
have ways of reaching out to Kane
Yeah,
Corns.
we'll clip this.
We can
we'll
do
clip
this.
and send it to him.
yeah.
yeah.
So all I want from Kane is just a simple apology to the
Yeah.
Saints fans.
Yeah, directly
Yeah.
to Saints fans. Yeah,
And
yeah.
look, it's not all about me. It's about Saints fans as a
Of
whole.
course, it's about the club.
It is about the club.
It's about
and
the
just
club.
give the show a plug.
Yeah, no, I rate it. So next up, after Is Joel Okay, we're just going to go with general news. General news
I've
after
got
this.
something. The long-awaited new AFL video game.
Yeah, we're getting a new AFL game.
It's been a few years. A lot of people are actually keen for this.
Look-
some listeners might not care about this, but a lot of
It is,
people are keen.
and they have a reason not to care because the
They have
AFL
been so
games,
shit.
the
So
AFL
bad.
games have been notoriously shit
So,
for so long.
Just quickly, the new one, it's been handed over to Big Ant Studios. They're based in Melbourne.
I thought they already had it.
No. This is the first one that they're developing.
Okay, all
and
right.
they handle the cricket 22, cricket 21. They have done Australian Open tennis, which I played. That's actually quite good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They've done 2 NRL games, which are pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's all looking good. There was some test
Okay,
footage
all
that
right,
came out
okay.
last year. It looks
We
great.
could do some streaming with this on the Twitch.
We could, yeah.
we could.
There was a cover that came out, or 2 days ago, with a release date, and the cover turns out it was fake. It was, so
Who was it?
It was Buddy Franklin. It was someone from North Melbourne. Standing next to him.
Why?
I don't
Who?
recall
Clark
who it
who?
is. I don't recall who it was.
Like
Clarko?
Simpkin?
No.
Cunnington?
No,
Like
it wasn't Cunnington.
Davies Uniacke?
But it had a date next to it, a release date,
Phoenix
which was
Spicer?
next month. It's since come out as fake, and that's all there is
Also,
to that
what a
story.
name, Phoenix
Oh,
Spicer.
you love
It
his
is-
name.
It is a sick name. But here's a good question. If you could pick who was the cover athlete of the AFL game, who would you go?
For the 2023
right now,
edition.
if you were to release like a 2023 AFL edition, who would you go?
Ooh,
Gillon
well,
McLaughlin.
That would
he
actually
would
be
like
sick.
that.
Like, in a
He would
suit.
like that.
Yeah. No, you go first, Corey. Who would you have on the cover?
Jack Ginnivan.
Oh
Oh, give us a spell.
Jack Ginnivan and Darcy Moore. That'd be great.
Well, we've got a biased pies pick. Joel, do you want to give me a real pick as who you could have as a cover athlete on this game?
Cover athlete. You know what? Patrick Cripps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
He
that's,
earned the
that's,
you
right.
know
He
what?
won last
Yeah.
year's Brownlow. He earned the
You'd,
right.
rate it.
you'd think that the Brownlow pick
You
would just
think it would?
automatically do
I
it.
would
I
have.
think like,
I'm
they
pretty
used to get
sure-
prizes for winning the Brownlow. What it should be, you win the Brownlow, you get in the cover.
Well,
I'm pretty
if
sure
you
you
were
were making a yearly game, yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how it
it's-
works in NHL and
Yeah.
NFL. If you get MVP, you're on the cover.
I would go because we're going under the assumption that the game is going to be shit and they're not going to make another one for 4 years or
Yeah,
so.
correct.
I would go Dusty Martin.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
would go
no, it
Dusty.
makes sense.
I would have Dusty doing a don't argue, and you have that on the cover. I think that would be sick. What else have we got in sport news?
Well, we'll move on to some other sports. F1, you guys know that I love F1.
You love it. You love it.
The testing period is finished. This weekend's been the testing
How'd that
period.
Aussie
in
boy go?
Bahrain. Oscar, he went okay. The car, McLaren's in a bit of shambles. They've basically openly admitted that they're not where they need to be, which
Yeah.
is bad.
How do you have this much money and not be where you need to be?
It's
Because there's
it's
also
fucking
how many
crazy.
other teams
Well,
with
the
that much
thing
money
is,
that want to get there.
The whole system is it's a new system, so the amount of money that you have is not mattering so much anymore because the testing is so limited. It used to be if you have unlimited money, which Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull have,
Yeah.
test as much as you like.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But now you're very limited. You can only use your wind tunnels for X amount of hours. You can only do track testing for X amount
So
of
they're
hours.
trying to do equalisation.
It's trying to bring the back of the grid up because the
Okay,
distinction
yeah,
is
yeah,
so
yeah.
big. But aside from all that, it's hard to tell from testing because a lot of teams sandbag. Sandbagging is they will lower the top speed of their car during testing.
They're cooking the books.
They're cooking the
Yeah, they're cooking the books.
But some interesting stuff. Fernando Alonso, basically league bad boy. He's the oldest guy on the grid, an absolute legend. He won the World Drivers in 05 and 06. He's driven
Yeah.
for almost every team.
Yeah.
And he's driving for Aston Martin now. And he, in an interview yesterday, he claimed that his Aston Martin is quicker than the Ferraris. Which is, it's
Yeah, that's
It's insane.
That's a
It's-
hectic thing to say, isn't it?
It's classic off-season chat.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
where the league's about to start. We're
Yeah.
running out of gear, and old Nando comes out
Yeah.
with a hot piece.
Yeah, I love that. I
Aston
love
Martins,
that. Yeah,
they're
huge,
very
huge.
slow.
Another thing
they're
we've
back
got
of the
in
grid.
a huge thing in sport that I'm interested in is John Jones and Cyril Gahn.
Yeah, that's coming
That's
up
gonna
this
be huge.
Sunday,
I
5th of
am-
March.
Is it this weekend?
It is. It's
I
on
am-
Sunday. It'll be.
I am.
It'll probably be in Las
keen
Vegas.
for this.
I'm
Are we
very
going to
keen.
watch it somewhere?
We
Yeah,
could.
we're
We
keen.
could. I've got
Yeah.
the weekend off. We could absolutely
Yeah.
do this. But
So I'll just quickly read out some
Yeah, yeah,
stats.
yeah.
So Gain is 11-1.
Yeah,
Right. But
only lost to Francis Ngannou.
He is an elite kickboxer.
he is an elite heavyweight in
He's an
every sense of the
elite
word.
Kickboxer. Jones 26-1.
But the one
only
is
loss
not a
was a
thing.
disqualification with
Yeah.
an elbow, the
Yeah.
12-6 elbow down.
So the only person that has come close to beating John Jones
Cormier.
was Reyes.
Well,
Well, Cormier, yeah, but not Cormier.
Yeah.
But Reyes,
Yep.
a lot of people said that decision should have gone to Jones. I understand why it could have been 50-50, but also it's Jones.
Yeah.
And this fight,
I mean, he hasn't fought in 3 years, 2.5 years.
It's got to be nearly 18
And that was a
months.
light heavyweight.
Yeah, and now it's heavyweight.
Yeah, he's
but
bulked up.
after watching, I am a big UFC fan. I love
As
it.
am I. Yeah, I love it.
After watching Gahn versus Ngannou,
Yes.
and I would absolutely prefer this fight to be Ngannou versus Jones. Of course, you would
I think the whole world does.
Yeah.
It was disappointing to see him go.
but also they need to pay him. They need to pay the
well,
man.
I agree.
Yeah.
But, there's some stuff coming out with whether it's true or not. Who fucking knows? But
Is this about Ngannou?
what he turned down, and
Well,
what he turned
He's
down
the world
is
heavyweight champion.
what he turned down is apparently quite fucking favourable.
Okay, so
Yeah, but
I
he
would
also
argue,
turned around and said it wasn't. So
I would
you
argue
say
that
both sides.
if you're the UFC World Heavyweight Champion, which is what Francis
Well, he's about to go
Ngannou
fight
is,
Tyson Fury
Yeah.
for a fucking $1,000,000
exactly,
bajillion dollars.
and get it, King.
Yeah.
Get the bag.
And he'll come
I
back.
think
He'll come back to
if
the
you
UFC.
if you are this, look at how big the UFC is right now. It is
huge.
after Conor McGregor, after
He blazed the trail.
after the absolute eyes that are on the sport. more people in Australia, I feel, when we talk about combat sports, no one's talking about boxing. We're talking about
Zoo gets a bit.
Yeah, Tim.
He gets a lot, and he's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
Compared to UFC, look at
No,
Volk.
it's not close.
It's not close. It's
Well,
not close.
yeah,
But it's
we
getting a
didn't-
lot closer.
we didn't
Australian boxing's getting a lot closer than what it used to
We
be.
didn't talk about it last week, but we are, for those listening in that might
Yes.
not know, we are based in Perth,
We
in
are,
WA,
yes.
and UFC was in Perth recently.
I didn't get tickets.
I didn't get tickets, but I was down at the pub watching it.
Yeah.
It was massive.
Yeah.
It was
I
massive.
still
Sound
haven't
came
watched
off
the
it.
whole fight
Oh,
between
I watched-
Volk and Islam.
I watched every fight. It was fucking
Who would you
incredible.
give Volk and Islam to?
Volk-
Unbiased. Try and be unbiased.
In the moment, I thought he had it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
thought he had it.
If that went for another minute, he would have knocked him out.
If it went for another
Yeah.
20 seconds, he was
Yeah.
done. He had
Yeah.
him on the
Volk
deck.
had him.
I have seen that footage of the end of the fifth, and
Yeah.
it were
The
he-
one
And the
that's-
thing
the
was,
one
Volk
that's
was
in
never
cons-
going to get put out. He was never going to be
Nah,
knocked out. He was
no.
never going to get submitted.
What was in contention was the middle, where Islam's game, he wasn't doing anything. So
Yeah,
for him
just
to,
holding him.
he was just
Yeah.
backpacking. I think Volk had that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, look,
and he's
hopefully they get a
still-
rematch.
He's still
Hopefully.
pound
There'll
for pound.
definitely be
he's
a
still pound
rematch.
for pound the greatest fighter. He's still number one. That
Yeah.
loss didn't
I
affect
love
it.
that. So with this Cyril Gane and Jones fight, who are we predicting? I'll go first. Jones.
I'll take Gain.
Like,
Ooh.
I think
I think Jones is gonna starch him. I think Ngannou would have beaten him. Gane, no.
Yeah, look, I think Gaines going to come
Jones
at
is
him.
too good.
Yeah, but we haven't seen him fight in nearly
No
3
one's.
years.
Jones is. Oh my god.
Jones
like,
hasn't seen
is-
Jones fight. So
Jones has this
Okay.
viciousness.
Put
that
it
is.
this way: Jones is going to come in as the hot favorite,
Yeah.
right? And if there's one thing that I've learned about MMA and the UFC in particular, never bet on the favorite.
Don't bet MMA math.
Never
Yeah.
bet on the
Well,
favorite.
I think that Jones has earned his space to say you don't bet against him. I think he's really the only one. The only other guy I've
Is he
seen
natural?
in my life.
Is he natural?
Yeah. I think Khabib, Izzy, and Jones are the best fighters I've seen.
But is Jones coming into this natural?
he would have
Oh
to.
no, he's on roids.
He's
Like
on-
he's on roids and coke. Yeah, absolutely.
This is the thing. Like,
Points and coke.
Oh, dude, like, Jones is
he's been
a
arrested.
cokehead.
He's
Like,
huge. He's huge into it all, and
Yeah.
I think.
and like it's just his
Dana
lifestyle.
Dana White's had a boner for John Jones forever,
And why wouldn't you?
and he's let everything slide for John Jones.
Yeah.
his whole career.
Yeah.
So for John Jones to put on some serious bulk
He's going to have to gain
and not
like
and Dana,
40
Dana
pounds?
White flicks people to the curb for nothing, and he's let John Jones be a dick for 3 years and not have a single fight, and
Yeah.
now he's putting him in. Is he
And
natural?
I think it's a winnable fight with Gunn, very winnable. Because you looked at what
I'm taking Gane.
You
I'm
looked
taking
at Ngannou. He wrestled him. Yeah, I think Jones is going to win. Jolie, what have you got in the general sports news?
So Aaron Rodgers in the NFL went into a darkness cave.
Yeah,
Or
so
a darkness retreat, he calls it.
he did some fucking ayahuasca and DMT, didn't
So
he?
this is the quarterback from
Green Bay.
Packers. The Packers. Yeah.
Are they
yeah.
any good? Is Rogers good?
They're all right,
Rodgers
I
is
think.
good.
Yeah, I think he's.
But he's also
good.
he's pushing 40.
Oh, okay. Well, they're
He's
good.
a,
So
he's
he's
a sort
getting
of
old.
Brady light.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I
he's-
understand.
He's gone to
A darkness retreat because he's trying to figure out what he wants to do now. Does he want to keep playing? Does he not? He's been carrying on about this for a few
Well,
years.
it's hard to figure out what you want to do when you've got $500 million in the
Yeah,
bank.
I would
I feel for
retire.
him. I feel for
Well,
him.
he went into this
It's gotta be a
darkness
difficult
retreat.
situation.
And he's come out and he's still got no idea. So really,
So we don't know whether he's going to play football again next year, or
or where he's going to play, no one knows anything.
These Americans.
I know
are
he's
mate.
he's a buddy of Joe Rogan's, and I think
okay.
he was.
That's
That
where he's
makes
got it
sense.
from.
I think he was an anti-vax sort of guy. He was doing that sort of stuff, and you know, it just strikes me as he can throw a ball, but
Yeah, very well.
Is he a smart man? Probably not. You know, probably not. What else have we got in the?
Oh, well, the cricket starts tomorrow. So we're recording
The
this.
third test?
I gotta be
Yep,
honest with
third.
you boys. I gotta be honest with
test.
you. I have watched fuck all
I
Test
love it.
cricket.
I love it.
have watched fuck all
I love
Test
it.
cricket this past few
I
months.
love it.
So tell me how we're gonna go in the third test against
Well, we're in
India.
shambles. We'll lose.
Yeah.
Paddy Cummins is out. He's
list-
flown home.
Yeah, the list of shambolic decisions that have gone on during this series
Who
are
needs to
incredible.
who needs to get their ass kicked?
It's the
here?
selectors.
Yeah, the selectors and Pat Cummins
dog
as a
shit.
captain.
Not
just-
even, no, not Cummins, I'd say. I'd say the selectors and the coach.
Well, Ashton Agar went in as the second spinner.
Yeah.
Hasn't played a game and has flown home to play Shield cricket for Western Australia, which puts him as the fifth or sixth spinner without playing a game. So it is absurd.
So we need, obviously, this is my limited understanding of cricket. We're in India. We need spinners.
we need spinners. The subcontinent
So we
is
need
very
three. We need three in the
favourable.
lineup.
Yep.
Or okay, who are those three?
But
Do
do
you
we?
think?
Well, you've got. Oh, yeah, you need him in there.
So you
I
need
wouldn't say
Gaz.
three, you could go
You need
two.
Nathan Lyon. You need Ashton Agar.
Yep.
The new boy.
Todd Murphy.
Todd Murphy.
Murphy, the
Yeah.
glasses
He- yeah, he
boy.
looks like
He's
Harry
great.
Potter.
He's great.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
great. I'm not sure what's happened to Adam Zampa. I don't know how much tests.
He wanted to play. He really
I
wanted to
don't
play. He was-
know-
yeah, he's playing Shield cricket. And
I mean,
he thought he was keen, ready to go.
Because he is very good. He's Nathan Lyon.
I
live.
rate Zampa. Yeah.
He's Nathan Lyon. He's exactly the same, just not
Yeah.
as good. But I have
So
no
we're going to
idea.
get pumped. The Indians are going to pump us.
Oh yeah.
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 They pumped us the first two times.
Yeah.
They're going to pump us.
And that's like it feels wrong.
It's
It
embarrassing.
feels,
Weird.
it feels wrong.
To go from the lofty heights that we were at.
It is a lofty height of us being
Yeah.
flat track bullies at home.
Yeah.
We beat everybody.
But we were good touring for a while.
Yeah.
There. I mean,
But we haven't won over there. God
what
knows
is
how
it
long.
with the Indian wickets? What happens?
It's
They cheat.
it's the humidity. It's the
Well, no,
it's
they
the-
also make them dust bowls.
Yeah, they do.
And
it's
doctor the
it's the
pitch.
humidity in the pitches. It's just completely different.
yeah,
It's-
so we can't bat there.
no, we can bat there. We can bat there.
No,
Yeah.
we can't.
Well,
have
not-
we
not at the
made
moment. Not
have
at
we
the
made a
moment.
good total?
Not in this series. No.
Well, there you go.
No, no. We
It
can't
seems
bat.
like it's a batting change that
well,
needs to happen.
we've still got Davey Warner in, which was just a mistake.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad he's out now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he-
what
he
what
cracked-
else have we
cracked
got?
shoulder,
So
cracked shoulder.
Yeah. Well, what else have we got in the other sports news, lads?
That's it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Novak Djokovic is now world number one again.
Well,
Oh,
I
yep,
thought,
yep.
who was world number one in the interim?
It was
Alcaraz.
Okay.
That was a guy I've never heard of, yeah.
I'm unaware
Oh,
of
he's the
him.
next Nadal though.
Yeah.
Carlos Alcaraz.
You know who
incredible
I'm a
young
big
player.
fan of? David Goffin from
Oh,
Belgium.
Goffin.
I like him. Either way, I think we're all done there. That's
Should we go with some listener questions?
We'll go with some
Oh,
mailbag. let's go mailbag.
Let's slip a couple in.
No. I was going to go done. How dare I? We've
Yeah, let's-
actually had a really good response
We've got-
from the
got
listeners
5
this
minutes.
it's
week.
actually incredible to have people.
Yeah, we
It
have
is
people
sending
listening.
in.
We
It
have
good.
people asking us
We've
things.
got people listening from
And
all over the
Joel-
globe as well.
Joel from HR is our is our designated
our fella.
mailbag guy. So read out the questions, Joel, if
Alrighty,
you'd be so
so-
kind.
The first one we've got: who are you taking in pick one for your fantasy draft? And that was from Ashton.
Okay, if I did have pick one, which is it's a huge thing, I would go.
It's tough, innit?
I think I might actually go Bailey Smith.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think he
With
will
Dunkley
be
out now. Just
Dunk.
like- yeah.
I don't think Dunkley is going to be quite as impactful as he was last year. I think Bailey Smith is going to be the number one doggies midfielder.
No, but I mean, well, Dunkley's not even at the club.
Oh yeah, no, I mean
Yeah.
well, Dunkley's also a good pick if you wanted to go
Oh
number
yeah,
one.
but I mean, he's not at the Dogs. He's not stealing.
I would go Bailey Smith.
In a
I
very,
would-
mine's shockingly similar, but
Yeah.
I'll take Caleb Sarong.
yeah. Whoa,
Wow.
Yeah, well.
I'm so glad I'm playing fantasy with Corey.
They're the same player.
They're not. You want to talk about
No,
fantasy
don't-
averages?
don't.
They're not.
Can
They're
you not? Can you not help him because we
Yeah,
have to
no,
play
I'm
him
not
in
helping.
fantasy?
Jolie, who's your
All right,
number
okay,
one?
well, I'll take Rhett Bazzo.
Hey,
Now there's a pick.
That's
All
a
right,
pick.
Joel,
That's a pick.
who's your fantasy number one pick?
Tuke Miller.
Yeah.
He's
well,
too
I think he's
reliable.
injured. I think he's injured.
Is he?
You know,
He's
obviously.
injured for the
not.
preseason, but he
Well, we
should
can-
be alright
we
for
can
round
ask
one.
Well, you know, obviously, Maybe I'll change my pick to Rory Laird, but I kind of wanted to be.
Yeah, Laird's a
I
nice.
kind of wanted to be,
Okay.
outlandish and a bit.
Do we have another question?
Indie.
Oh, we've got a few more here,
Yeah.
so we'll go through them. Zach sent through question for all of you. From any era of footy, who are you going to have a beer with?
Dermot Brereton.
Dermy.
Dermy abs in
Pretty good.
1988.
5
Yeah.
day, 5 night.
He'd spend the whole beer telling you how good he is.
And I would love it.
Yeah, you
I
would.
would absolutely
You
love
would
it. I'd
love
be
it.
like,
You
tell
would
me
love
more, tell me more. Like, did you have a car? All right. Who would you go, Corey?
I want to pick someone from further away, but I'm going to have to pick Dane Swan.
yeah,
It's
it's
just such a lad.
safe
See, the
pick.
only reason I wouldn't pick him is because you can go to the Albion and have a beer with
Yeah,
him.
you can just go down to Albion and probably
Yeah,
have a
you'll
beer
find
with
him.
Yeah.
You'll
He's
find
not
him.
difficult to find.
Joel, who's your beer?
The G train.
Oh, Gary!
right.
Yeah,
Because he's
He'd knock you
nowhere.
out.
yeah,
He
love
would,
that.
yeah.
He'd knock you out.
But apparently he's the nicest guy out. Like, you hear stories
Yeah.
about him. He's so loving and
that sounds
caring.
Really rate
I
that.
believe it.
Yeah.
On the
I believe
field,
it.
yeah, he'd belt someone.
Do we
More
want-
than a few times.
Do we want one more question?
One
And then
more
we-
question
then we
from
can
the
fin- then we
mailbag.
can finish
yeah.
up.
All right, one more question. Best fan insult you've heard at a waffle game from Eamon.
Well, I haven't been to any waffle games.
You
Go
haven't been
the-
to any waffle
All right,
games?
so different one.
It's been a while. Go a different one, Joel. Go a different one.
Which footy
I'm
player
going
would
to take
make
you. I'm
it?
going
In,
to take you to some waffle games.
Go on.
we will. Which footy player would make it in the NFL? And that's from Old Chef
Oh,
Taylor.
okay, that's a
good
better one.
question.
That's
so
a better one.
immediately you would think of big kickers because
Well, I'm trying to think
punters.
of running backs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think
See,
of.
that's-
I think
that's better.
I think Adam Sard. I think if you
Oh,
want to
Sard.
have a running back of a guy
Yeah.
who you're going to hand the football off to
Yep.
from the quarterback, I think Adam Sard
great pick.
is going to read the field very well.
great
He's
pick.
going to find you some yardage.
It's a great
Yep.
pick.
Yep.
I'll take King Freddie.
Yeah.
Oh,
King
Michael
Freddie.
Frederick.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
if he stacked on about 5 kilos and was able to keep that speed, I think he'd be great.
Love that.
He's got a
Love
turn,
that.
He's got a great turn of foot. Sard's very quick.
Yeah.
But Freddie's got a turn of foot that you
He
see in
could
those running backs.
Juke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he can.
yeah,
He
absolutely.
can.
Joel.
All right, so I'm going to go different to what you guys have gone in terms of, like, now.
Taking the punter.
No. Let's go back a few more years. Stuart Dew in defence. Could you imagine?
Oh,
Could you imagine?
Yeah. Oh,
Big
yeah.
Stewie
As
G.
a linebacker?
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, I like that.
Oh,
I like that.
yes. All right. That'll be it. We thank you for sending in your boys, sending in your questions. If you want to listen to the podcast or recommend it, we're on all platforms. If you want to send us
Like and
some
subscribe.
messages,
Show
like
a
and
mate.
subscribe.
Yep.
Show a mate. You can message us on the Instagram page, the TikTok page. It's barely touched him podcast @gmail.com.
If you search Barely Touched Him anywhere,
But
you'll find
us.
it.
So get in touch with us. We would love to hear your boy or any question or,
And again, thank
Conversation
you.
topic.
Again, thank you for everyone's
It's
input for
pretty
last
incredible.
week. That was nice.
it's been really cool.
Yeah.
It's been really cool. So that's it for episode 2.
Thank you very much.
Have a lovely day.